Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Don't Blame Me, where we, Meghan and Melisa, give you the most wonderful, amazing, life-changing advice that some have petitioned to give us Nobel Peace Prizes. And we say, oh, no, stop. We're so humble. They've also offered to give us Victoria's Secret angel wings. And we say, oh, no, we have allergies. And they've also offered to carve us into Mount Rushmore. And we say, not next to those men.
And not in something that doesn't belong to us to begin with. That is a sacred place for the indigenous people of the United States.
No, and those men fuck those men. We're not. Don't put us next to them. Yeah, this is a podcast where we give you advice. You call in, you leave voicemails, but you also send us emails and voice memos, send us a DM, tell us the predicament, the problem you are going through, and we will do our very best to help you out of the situation. And you know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't shared with people our credentials because you might not know why we're so qualified to give you this advice.
One, we saved, that thing where it's like, you're coming to a fork in the road. Do you save like 5 people over here or the 40 people over here? Whatever. Because we are 2 very powerful entities, we were able to save both.
We out-trolleyed the trolley question.
Yes. We also are close personal friends with Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
Even though the government is trying to, discredit him and say that he took money when he didn't.
I'm like waiting for him to get Boeinged. I'm like afraid.
But we are on his advisory council.
We are. We're actually scientists as well as doctors. They call us not scientists.
I mean, all doctors are scientists.
I know. I was just kidding for the people who maybe
all
didn't know that.
Scientists are doctors.
Yeah. No, I know, because I would actually know that because I am a scientist doctor. I'm very, very smart, very intelligent. Yeah. So yeah, we have so many qualifications. You should see all the certifications, and you know what? You can join our Patreon, watch the video version, and you can see both of our backgrounds are just like littered with, first of all, thank you letters from Malala telling us that we're her inspiration.
Yeah, Greta.
Oh yeah, Greta Thunberg. She's a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
We taught her everything she knows. And that's why, because we have all of these.
Hold on, Malala didn't say that we were a huge inspiration. She said that we were inspirational.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't make sense. You're right. We're
I'm just saying, I don't want to take any credit from her.
Oh, no.
From the things that she's endured.
Oh, yeah, she said that. Yeah, that's what she said. And we thought with human rights activists and climate activists and all of these things, we said, you guys have this covered. We'll answer people's calls about like anal sex and like boyfriends and having crushes and like what to do when the bride pees on you at her bachelorette party.
We are here for that.
We've got that sect covered. So, what an intro. I'm in my acting phase. We also have a lot of other podcasts. This is obviously Monday. This is the first podcast of the week, but we have Tuesday, which is See You Next Tuesday, where we catch up, we talk, hear our thoughts on Bridgerton, and we also talk about planes, movies, trains, automobiles. And then we have a break on Wednesday, Thursday. We have But Am I Wrong? And then Friday, we have another episode called Fisting Friday. And I think it's a great time, but this is the advice. So if you want to call in, leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. All this is in the show notes as well and on our website. But you can also send us an audio message at meganpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can send a DM. But for all of those, you'd be 18 or over or have your parents' permission. And we do ask that you include your age in your submission. You can include your pronouns if you would like. It is all anonymous, so come up with fake names for people. But the more details, the better advice we can give. So we do recommend that you write it down if you're recording, like either a voicemail or voice memo. Write it down, practice a few times, and give us all the relevant information. And by that, I mean, we need the gossip. Like, I need the backstory. I need the gossip. I need the tea. Because I'm nosy, and also like it will help, but like also just because I'm nosy.
Yeah, but we can't give full advice. We don't have a full story. Give us examples.
We love an example. A 3-prong. You're like, this person sucks because of X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Thank you. I do that all the time. just a little one. Also, give us calls back. Like, give us updates. Like, there's so many people I want updates from right now.
Me too. All right. So should we get into the first one?
Let's do it.
It's a write-in. I'll read it. Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I'm writing in because I, 18 she, her, am graduating high school in a couple days. My girlfriend, 18 she, her, and I have been together for almost 8 months, but are both leaving for college in the fall and will be 1,500 miles away from each other. Our relationship has gone very slowly because of us both having been in a traumatic relationship, so we haven't said I love you, though we both often imply we do, and I know if I were to say it back, she would say it back. I want to tell her, but I'm scared to, not just because I've been love bombed and smothered in the past, but because we will both be leaving soon. I've never experienced a good relationship until her, and I'm only 18, so I'm having a hard time deciding. Do I tell her I love her and stay together when we go to school? Or do I hold off telling her and ending it before we leave? I know college is a great place to explore myself, so I can't decide if it's a good idea to go and tether to someone so far away, or if I should stay with her because I love her. I love you both, and any advice would be great.
I'm going to say it right now. Do I have double standards? Of course I do. This is one where I think this is much more romantic versus a heterosexual relationship where I'm like, drop that man when you go to college. But I don't know, maybe to ask you, like, my question is, because I think that I'm not a believer in like, oh, break up with someone just because you're going to college.
Correct.
I think that like I think going into college single is like a great call, but I don't think that like, if you don't want to break up, I don't think you should break up, because I don't think that that's going to make you take advantage of college, and why I think that it's great for people to go into college single. Like, you have to want to go into college. Otherwise there's no difference there. But like, at the same time, I'm like, is it horrible to stay together and then like, let's say you're at college for a couple months or like 2 months and you're like, I really want to be single. And then you have to break up not in person. Like, is that, in my mind, I'm like, is that bad?
First of all, it's not love bombing because you've been together for 8 months. Love bombing, it would have already taken place within the first week.
12 hours.
And also, I believe it's different in a lesbian relationship from what I've observed as well. But again, 2 hetero people, I don't know. But also, I think if you don't say I love you when you actually feel it and you don't actually want to break up, I think if you were to break up, it would make things worse for you emotionally, because you're going to always be wondering about the what if. because you're not breaking up over something like it's not like the relationship is coming to a head, like it's coming to an end. You both know like this is the end of the road. You're just simply separating. So I think you should tell her you love her, and I think you should enjoy your summer and then see how things go from there. Like, if you want the relationship to work and like it's the right time for the relationship to work, it can work. But like in college, you're going to experience new things, and there might be a more natural way if the relationship's going to end, it's not going to be for this. It'll be for something else.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Like, and when you love somebody, it doesn't really matter if you've said it or you haven't. Like, you already feel it. Like, it's already there. You're not protecting anyone or anything by like keeping that in. And I'm a big fan of like, or a big believer in like no stone left unturned. Like, don't want to like live with like regrets or I wish I had done this or what if I had done this. But yeah, like, I don't want it to be misconstrued that like we've said before, like we're big proponents of like going into college single. We're big proponents of like not living with friends or even like living with people you knew growing up or in high school, like to college to kind of have all of that. But that's in the line of like, you can go to college with a significant other and then be like, what we're saying is don't stay in a high school relationship through college and let it hinder your experience, knowing it's hindering your experience. Like, but I'm not saying like, oh, you have a partner and you're going to college, you have to break up with him, even though you have zero desire to, so you can have fun. Because you know what you're not going to do? Have fun in college then. Like, it needs to be like, listen, like, don't hold on to that as like something that is like so precious that like gets in the way of your experience. But I don't think you should ever break up with someone until that's what you want, because I don't think you're not going to reap any of the benefits of that like new exploration phase. So I think as long as you have like, you're open in the conversation with that, like, I really want like, you know, both of you should be able to say that to each other. Like, I really want like you to be able to like have a full college experience, and like me too. And so, you know, I want to stay together, but also like, I don't want you to have to like skip fun things that you're doing. So we are FaceTiming at like a Friday night or whatever. Like, I want you to still be able to have that experience. I also know a lot of people who stayed in relationships when they went to college within the first week. They were like, so how about we're together when we're back home? I also don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
I don't think so either. We're modern gals.
Yeah. And a lot of people, like, they would never define that as an open relationship. And I was like, that is an open relationship. But like,
it's a location specific relationship.
Exactly. This is my hoe in my hometown area code. But yeah. And again, I have different standards, different relationships. So I think this is cute.
I do too. Tell her.
You're not a man.
Let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. I think that's really like knowing that like you haven't said it yet, but you know that she would say it back. Like, I think that's such a fun, like, sweet spot to be in. So yeah, don't end it prematurely. Enjoy the summer, like Melissa said.
Yeah. All right. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get into some more.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural Then and Now.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey, guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
And we're back. It's time for the next.
Hi, Meghan and Melissa. I wanted to ask a question about like marriage requirements, I guess, or just what your input is. My boyfriend and I have put on the table the idea of getting married someday soon. He is 26 and myself, she, her, is also 26. And we're at points in our lives and in our relationship where, you know, we know that, like, each other is the one. We fit together like a perfect puzzle piece, blah, blah, blah. It's magic. It's amazing. Rainbows and butterflies. So the back and forth between us is, like, whether or not we should make sure we're financially, I would say we're financially stable. We're not scraping the bottom of the barrel. We usually are somewhat paycheck to paycheck, but not so bad. Like, we're able to put in savings. I would say, you know, when it's about to be payday, there's maybe like $50 left, which I feel like is impressive personally. I've been in places in life where I would be in the negatives before a paycheck. I feel like that's a pretty good accomplishment, but we're not really. He thinks that we should have like X amount of money, or he should be making X amount of money in order to get married as a requirement. But I was like, my thought process is this economy is such shit that I feel like where we are financially now is pretty good, and it's just about the right timing. Like, I don't think that we should worry about finances, and that if we wait to be rich to get married, like, it's never going to happen. So I don't know, like, you can be married and poor, but also, like, we're relatively stable. So we're not, you know, whining and dining and going on huge shopping sprees, but we're doing okay. We're meeting our bills. So I was just like, when I'm done with school, I'm currently in cosmetology school, like thinking about like a few months after that, getting engaged and then getting married like in a year or so after that. So I don't know, just what you think about it. I was more concerned with where we are in the relationship and not so much money, as long as we're not like, you know, homeless. So tell me what you think. Thanks.
So I first wanted to say, poor people can get married. Like, poor people without a doubt can get married. I at first I was kind of curious how long you've been together, but like, I also don't really think it matters at this point. Like the way that you're talking, at first when you're talking about him, I was like, you don't even like him. And then you kept talking. I was like, oh, you've been together for a long time. Like this is just like, it went from like, oh, you're just whatever. I was like, oh no, this is like, you guys are very comfortable. And it sounds like it doesn't, I mean this in a kind way. I mean this in like, I think this is sweet where like, you're not necessarily giddy about each other. It's like, you're pragmatic and it's like, okay, come on. And like, it gets when people are like, oh my God, that's just like a roommate situation. Like it's not, you've been together with someone for so long that it's just like where they start, you went like, it just, you become a unit. So, I mean, I think you're both right. I think like you need to be at the right spot in your relationship to get engaged and get married. And you also need to be financially stable. I am curious how long you've been at this financial spot. Like how long has it been that like, and is it like $50 left in your joint account? It sounds like your accounts are already combined. Is it $50 after you've already put money in savings? Or is it like, oh, whatever we have left over at the end of the month, that will roll over into our savings? Or are you putting money in savings with every paycheck? I tend to, when someone is saying like, oh, I think we should wait till we have like more money, to me, I kind of tend to be like, okay, sure. Because marriage is, you already combined your finances, but now it's like legally tying your finances. And if someone is like, I want us to feel more comfortable here, maybe that's my anxiety being like, maybe they're not so sure that they're going to be able to keep their job for right now, or like whatever this is, like there's something there. But at the end of the day, I just would need to know how much money he wants to have saved, because you said like, I don't think we need to be rich. Is he saying I want to like, is he making like $40,000 a year right now? And he's saying like, I want to get married when I'm making $100,000 a year. That is ridiculous. But if it's like, if I need to save up for a ring and we want to have like a wedding, and then like maybe you want to have kids in the future, or maybe you want to upgrade the place that you're living or wherever that is. And that's like, well, we don't have the money to do that right now. Like, is it like, I want to have $10,000 saved so we can use that for a wedding, or we can use that for the engagement ring and a wedding, or we can use that for honey. Like, what is the amount of money saved? Because like, similarly to how I feel about long distance relationships, I think like any relationship decisions that are timeline based that affect both parties, there needs to be like a explicitly communicated time and mutually agreed upon timeline, or like when you reach a certain thing. Like, cause like Mats and I, when we were like, he's older than me, and he always said, he was like, you know, when I'm ready to get engaged, I'll tell you. And then you tell me when you're ready. And there was like a point a couple years ago where he's like, hey, I'm ready. So whenever you're ready, just let me know. And I was like, okay. And then I forget. I was like, okay, I think I'd be ready like within this year. And he was like, cool. This is to get engaged, but it's not to get married.
I am not judging at all.
Okay, cool. I know your face because I can also see your face.
I'm not. I'm really not.
Okay. Also, like, I have no. It's not that I don't want to get married. It's just fucking tedious and expensive. But yeah, so I think like, as long as you're on the same page, and it doesn't sound like you are right now, but like, does he have is it a reasonable goal? Or is he like listening to like financial planning podcasts and he's like, I need to become, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is his goal?
Yeah, that's my main question is like, what amount of money do you need for him to believe that you're stable? Because like, once you graduate from cosmetology school, you're going to be making more money anyway. Yeah. But like, if you're already like right now, already living together, sharing finances, nothing's really going to change once you get married. So what is it that's actually holding him back?
Yeah. Like, and what kind of wedding do you want? Like, have you guys discussed that? Is like, he thinking
do you even
that
want a wedding? Like, are you fine like with, eloping or whatever?
Yeah. And like, does he want a wedding? And he always pictured it and costing X amount of money. Like, what is the money? And then what is that money for?
Right.
Yeah. That's my big question. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think you're both right. Like, I think you need to be at the right spot in your relationship, and your right spot in the right spot financially. But the right spot financially is so different for everybody. So like, it could be, and it has to be a compromise and something you agree upon. But like I said, two poor people can get married. That's totally fine. But it's like, you both need to feel comfortable and excited about it. So figure out why he's not comfortable. And I think at that point, it's like, okay, then let's get to that point if it's realistic. Otherwise, call us back and then we'll unpack it further.
Yep. All right, next one.
Okay. Hey, Eminem. So I need help. I'm 22, she, her, and I recently bought my first quote unquote adult purchase. A vibrator? No, a new car. Sorry, I added that little part in. I am so excited and it broke the bank a little. Not even gonna lie. So I have this great news, and you'd think I would post big ho, I got a Tahoe, on social media or go show her off. Not in a show off way, but like a look at my accomplishment through hard work way. I've made my whole way through life. My parents divorced when I was young. I got my first job babysitting at 14 years old, and I've kept a job since. So it's not like I was handed this car. Not that there's anything wrong if someone did. Well, my family's very judgmental, and I know they're going to judge the hell out of me and ask me how much this cost. So I've been hiding the whole damn car for a good month now. You're hiding a whole Tahoe? Oh my God. I'm not sure how to approach a situation until y'all can offer some advice. Hoping you use this. I plan to keep hiding it. Love the pods and love y'all. So where do they live? Why don't you just be like, this is my Uber Black that dropped me off.
This is my company car.
Hey, that's actually incredibly believable.
Yeah.
For a Tahoe.
Yeah, like you bought a brand new Tahoe. Congratulations! Like
no, that is so fucking impressive.
That's big hoe moves. And this reminds me of that call that we had where somebody bought an expensive purse. Remember that? And then they were afraid of their family's judgment. It reminds me of that. The thing is, if no one, and I'm going to say the same thing that I said then, if they aren't giving you money, and if you aren't asking them for money, it's none of their goddamn business. They can look up the MSRP on a car. They can figure that out themselves. They can ask all day and just be like, I spent my money. It was my money. I didn't get any help. And that's that. Like, you're making big girl moves. Now we got to like continue the big girlness of this, because on the trajectory that you're on at this young of age, like you're going to make big money moves and they're going to keep questioning you. So it's just like, how are you going to deal with it now and in the future?
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I'm a little more toxic than that. This is one of those situations where I say, lying is fine. It's funny you brought up the purse call, because I had a very similar experience. Like that was really dealt with that growing up. We're not as a kid, but once I started making money, and there is lying to protect your peace when you know that it comes from purely judgmental place. That's the only place it comes from. So when someone is being judgmental, if someone like think about it in the sense of like, if you want to like shit talk or you want to gossip, and then someone walks in being like, oh, I really like that person. You're like, okay, no, it doesn't matter how good of a person they are. Like, I'm in the mood to talk shit. So no, there is no right answer you can give that will prevent them from talking shit. So I think at that point, like, give them the ammo that doesn't hurt. Like, give them the rubber bullets, not the real one. So like, if it would really hurt you, if you shared actually how much this cost and you would feel guilt about it, lie. Like, say something else that like, that's not going to hurt you. Cause you know, no matter how much you paid for it, they're going to be judgmental about it. So I think that you don't even have to say that you bought the car. You can just say, like, it can just be like, oh yeah, no, borrowing a car from a friend, whatever it is, like that, you know, your family.
Borrowing for years.
True. I guess it depends on also how close you live, but you can even like play dumb about it. It's like, yeah, I think it's a recent year, but maybe it's a little bit older. Like, I don't know, not whatever. Like, you're just making it like not a big deal at all. Like Melissa said, like that's like, it's the grown up thing it's not to kind of pry into someone's life and their finances is weird behavior, and setting that boundary is grown up behavior. Mm-hmm. But congratulations. I had a friend who had a Tahoe, and the way I loved when they'd pick me up and I was like, ooh, so roomy. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I feel like a celebrity.
Melanie had an Envoy, which is like the GMC version of a Tahoe.
Oh, and GMCs, those are even heftier.
Yeah.
Hefty.
All right, we're going to take a break.
Hey everyone, join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
Each week, we deliver 4 fun-filled shows.
In Don't Blame Me, we tackle our listeners' dilemmas with hilariously honest advice.
Then we have But Am I Wrong, which is for the listeners that didn't take our advice. Plus, we share our hot takes on current events.
Then tune in to See You Next Tuesday for our listener poll results from But Am I Wrong?
And finally, wrap up your week with Fisting Friday, where we catch up and talk all things pop culture.
Listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Merry Christmas, everybody! My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody! Let's go!
Do you love Disney? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. There is nothing we don't cover.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
We're back from the break, and we've got another one for you.
Hey, Megan and Melissa, I have an odd question. Follow me on this journey. It's random, and I have had these thoughts after an edible gummy here too. All right, we're locked in. So I feel like I'm stuck. I know you get this one a lot, but my version is different. I feel like my being stuck is strictly from karma being a bitch, mainly because I was a bitch. I am 26 and use she, her pronouns. So growing up, I was an absolute bitch. Me and my friends basically molded our lives after Mean Girls, down to the burn books with girls in our class. Mm-hmm. I'm from a small hometown and graduated with like 200 people, so it wasn't that hard for it to get around. We were awful people. I look back at some of the things we did, and I am just like, wow, I was a total bitch and didn't care. I was also experimenting with drinking early on to where it isn't even appealing to me now. You know how in movies, there's that person everyone expected to do great things, but they're still in their hometown working a mediocre job? Yeah, that's me. So my question is, how do I bounce back from this? Do I need to explore more than where I live and try to get a bigger job? Should I make amends and see if my karma improves? My town is as small as ever and everyone still knows everyone. People rarely leave, so that really isn't far-fetched. I seriously turned my life around probably my junior year in college, and I'm not that girl anymore whatsoever. I am just trying to see where the hell to go from here. Thanks for hearing me out. I hope you take my call.
I love the self-awareness in this one.
Yeah, I think that being self-aware also makes you like acquire more karma points. If you believe it's karma, maybe apologize to those people that you wronged in the past. It's a small town. They're probably still around, right? Or get out and just start your life over.
Change your name.
Right. You seem to be doing good, right? I mean, you say you're doing mediocre, but like if you feel like if you moved out and it would be a fresh start and you use the experience you already have, you went to college, like you've got like a baseline of experience from something, and then you're more aware of the person that you are now, that does help. So if you think moving and then having like a bigger job market and then like a new set of friends will make things better and you're open to do that, go for it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have apologized to people that I was a bitch to in high school, and that it probably happened like freshman year of college, sophomore year of college, where like I never like bullied anyone, nor even like close to like what I experienced in college. But like, yeah, I like thought back to like some of the ways that like I was super fucking insecure and was like not as nice as I could have been to people. And I like messaged people on like Facebook, like way back in the day and like just like apologized. And like some people said like, go fuck yourself. And I think like 2 people, 3 people. Some people were like, oh, go fuck yourself. People were like, oh, I literally didn't even remember. Like, you're totally fine. But like, if I ever like received something like that from someone, it has to depend on like what you did. Like if you tormented someone, leave them the fuck alone. But like if you were just, you know, like not nice and you see this person around town and it's just kind of awkward, I think it's nice to just be like, hey, like, just want to say sorry. Like I was a fucking bitch in high school. Like, and I like hate that. And you don't have to like take this apology or whatever. But like, I just feel like I do owe it to you. Cause like that was like so fucking out of pocket and like nasty of me. And you don't have to prove to anyone that you're different or you're changed. Like, I don't think that's what like apologies are in this instance. But I think like if someone wants to receive that, they're like, you know, you still see them around or whatever. But like, don't go like searching for people who like you dunked their head in the fucking toilet and gave them swirlies and be like, hey, sorry, by the way, I'm like actually a really good person now. I'd be like, fuck off. Like, so I think that like, if you have, like Mel said, if you have any inclination to do that, then I think go for it. Like, I think do that. Tread with, you know, be discerning in who you choose to give those apologies to. But I also second the fact that like, move. Like, if you feel like it's holding you back, like start fresh, move somewhere new. Most people are not the same person they were in high school. And like people go through nice and mean phases. And I know people who like have said like, I was always so nice. I'm like, you're a bitch now. Like, I know you, like, you're kind like, and I think like it's natural, especially when you're young. And it's so much better to have gone through that phase and learned that at a younger age than a lot of other people. Like, I do think it's inevitable that you'll be insecure at some point. It's inevitable that is the result of the insecurity. So I think if you've done the work on it, it doesn't hurt to at least check off all the boxes and see if your luck changes. And maybe watch the movie Just My Luck, starring Lindsay Lohan and Chris Pine. Is that the one I like?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chris Pine. A great movie. But I'm actually obsessed with the self-awareness of this one. But I do kind of want to know what you did. Because like one time I just said, for one of the people I apologize to, like, I think one of the things I just said was that like, she looks like a whore. Like, I was like, someone said they had a crush on this girl. And I was like, why? She looks like a whore. She dresses like a whore. And she like turned around and she was like walking in front of me. And I was like, and I think I like probably was like, what? And then afterwards, I like questioned her. I was like, I'm so sorry. That was like so mean. And also like, I didn't even know what a whore was. Like, I was just like, I was like 15. Like, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, she's like, you're good. Like, that's fucking fine. Like, I didn't even remember. But like, you know, then there's things like you have a falling out with a friend and you could have been nicer or whatever it is. But I do need to know. I probably shouldn't have been like, oh, I understand. I relate to you, because I don't know what the fuck you did.
Right. Was it just the burn book and you went around making up lies about people, which is awful, but like were you physically violent to people?
Yeah. And like, did you seek people out to do that stuff? And like, did you think it was all in good fun? Like, I've had that before where like having an ongoing like inside joke like about someone that they were included in. And then I remember probably like 5 years ago or something, I like reached out. I was like, I'm so sorry, by the way, that was so weird. And he was like, no, I was in on that. I go, okay, cool. I thought you were, but then I like had this like second guess of being like, oh my God, did he think we were just making fun of him? And he was like, no, we're good. That was hilarious. I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, don't be weird about
the song about.
Yeah. He's like, don't be weird about like the ongoing inside joke we've had for years. So I was like, okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that like for a second I forgot, like you knew you were on the inside, right? And he was like, yeah. So yeah,
I just laugh at people that are like, I modeled my life after Mean Girls. And I was like, did you not watch the end of the movie? Did you turn it off after the first 2 acts?
I mean, how old did they say they were?
It was when they were in high school.
Yeah, 26. Because I was going to say, I mean, I saw the movie in like 5th grade and I was like, these girls are cute. But yeah, no, it's the lesson in there. You got to get to the end. You don't want to, because it can't last forever. Like you're finding out now. I would also watch this redemption arc.
You're also coming up in 2 years will be your 10-year reunion. Do you plan on going back?
Let us know. I feel like I would watch Day in My Life as a recovering bitch as I make amends. Like, I'd watch those TikToks.
Actually, save that. That could be a good script idea.
I was just about to say, I kind of want to play her.
Yeah.
I could play her. Well, let us know.
All right. It's time for Don't Blame Them. What's Don't Blame Them, Megan?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked, Melissa. It is when a caller calls in with their own advice pertaining to a call we have aired on a previous episode. So they might have personal or professional experience. They might have known somebody who's gone through it, or they have some insight, some words of wisdom that they want to share with the class.
Hey, I'm calling in for a Don't Blame Them about the incoming college freshmen. First of all, I want to say, don't do it your freshman year. You do have time. You are calling in May and school doesn't start till fall. Maybe moving in for summer. You do have time to live with someone else. I say go random. I went random my freshman year, and I really think it's the best way to do it. You have your friend there at college, right? So she has her roommate, you have your roommate, and you will just expand your circle of people that you will be able to meet throughout college by not living together right away. Also, I think it's really important to note that starting off your freshman year, you're used to a certain way of living by your parents. It's something that not everyone realizes till they're out on their own, but you do come from your very own norms, things that you like to do, different routines, and everyone is raised differently. And that can be really frustrating when you're coming into a new space where you don't realize that everyone does everything differently and that you might have different expectations and norms than the people that you're living with. I do want to note that I have had lived with friends from my sophomore year to my senior year. I actually just graduated, and I think it is an amazing experience. I don't think you should start off that way. It's nice to have that random experience where you get to really find who really is your crowd and expanding that search. But when it comes down to it, your sophomore year, junior year, senior year, it is really nice. And if you do go through it, it is nice to know that you always have your home. That's one thing I've always felt is I have my family. I come home and it feels like a home. It does have that warmth in it. So either way, best of luck. Congratulations on starting your journey. It's going to be awesome. It's all going to work out. So best of luck.
Sweet. Love it. I love when people confirm this for us. Because we say it so often. It's nice to get some other voices in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, you can always leave us a review. Please call, send us a message, email for upcoming episodes. We can give you some advice. If you have been a caller or a writer from a previous episode, give us an update. Let us know what the current state of the situation is. In the words of the Click Books, Massey Block, State of the Union, which I know is politics, but I prefer the YA edition. And yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the podcasts that come out this week. Join our Patreon. We do live streams there twice a month. Hang out. You can play Monopoly Go with us. And anything else?
No, that's it, Megan.
Woohoo! Well, we hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.
Bye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production sound and editing by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Lauro, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth.
Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.